I have issues with my relationships. I have no friends to count upon. I have trust issues. These were some of the stories or self talks I used to tell about my relationship status a couple of years back. Then I made a conscious decision that I need to change this situation. I started reading books, I started listening to inspirational talks, but most importantly, I made my intention very clear. I need a positive change. And then I tried reframing these stories. And it goes like this: I'm very observant about people's behavior. I admire trustworthy people. I'm quite choosy in making friends. Now, what happened by this small change? A lot. To make the long story short, I transformed from the victim mode to a controller mode. Previously, I was having a very less self-esteem when it came to relationship. I used to try too hard to impress people, to please people, so that they don't judge me, they don't criticize me. But today, I am more in control when I'm dealing with people. I'm more confident when I'm dealing with people. So if such a small change in such a small pie of my lifestyle has given such a big difference, you can imagine how recreating and rephrasing our stories can change our whole life. And this is what our topic of the evening for TED Circle small group discussion: how we can change our life by changing the stories we say. Today we have our guest speakers, Dr. Seema and Swarleen, who are going to have their own views and enlighten us. I would like to request Dr. Seema Negi to come ahead in the beginning and share her views on this topic.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. Such a meaningful topic, We always say that we have to change our outlook. So rather than changing our outlook, sometimes we really have to change our stories. We have to change our narratives, or we have to change our pen with that we write the story, because sometimes we are glued to a specific mode. We just want to be the villain in our story and we start enjoying that thing. Sometimes we just want to be the hero in our stories. So the protagonist and antagonist inside us, they struggle. And then what are we doing? For whom are we writing our story? So Sarbari, when you said that when you change your story, that is what I believe, that is the moment which ignites us to go ahead with the change and reflect. It is not about where we have reached. It is about, are we willing to reflect on where we are? And the moment we start reflecting, we really take a pause and try to understand what are we doing to ourselves. It might be a small situation which we exaggerate and we say, oh, we are the victim. This always happens to me. And the moment we go to the mode that this always happens to me, we see that the entire universe is there and the things keep on happening to us. So why don't we see from other narrative? Why don't we see from a positive outlook? The more we do that, the more we see things happening to us. I think most of us, we believe in the power of abundance, manifest. We believe in those things, but do we practice? So it's time, I think, that we come together, discuss on those narratives, which will change not only our story, but which will inspire others to change their way of looking at them. So rather than self-victimizing, yes, try to become the hero of your story. That's really good. But what is important is don't become anybody's copy. You are unique. You have unique ability. Be your own. Write your own story, unique story.
Yes, we victimize ourselves. And when we say or question ourselves, why me? That's the biggest question, that's the first negative trait that we put up for ourselves. Why me? Because we've never entered into the shoes of other person. There's always this saying, there's a saying that goes, jiska ghar mat kholo wahi theek hai. Why do we say that? Everybody has his own or phase of, ups and downs. We've all been through that valleys and peaks. It's all right. How many times do we tell ourselves, oh, thank God, I escaped from that extent and I know where to find the solution? The question mark lies is, do we actually look when we have this kind of a problem? Do we, the sad part of the story is highlighted in such a way that we certainly forget to think about what good has happened to us. And that only happens with a change in attitude. An attitude is our soul. It's our backbone. How can we even stand without a backbone? How can we even live without a soul? The change in attitude will change everything. It's just like that, we say half a glass empty or half a glass full. It depends on what you look at. If you think that the other person is criticizing you just because you are like that, losing on your self-esteem, going low on your self-confidence, losing your morale, I will never say that the other person is at fault. We are at fault because we let those ideas creep inside. If we've got to change our story, we've got to change the entire perception of our lifestyle, of our living. Are we ready to accept the criticism? No, I'll be very honest. Are we ready to face the challenges? Ask me, the answer will come, no, 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 no. What is it that we're looking for? A life that's smooth? How can you even tell us what bitter means, what sweet means if you've not tasted bitter? It's all right to fail, fall, and falter. Give yourself a chance. Change your own story. Create your own world. Why do we wait for the platter to be ready for us to just have it? This paradigm shift that we make in our attitudes will help us grow better, know better. And the stories that, they make us shambled, they feel us like cracked, gone. This will not happen if we change the entire process of living. If we change the entire, now saying that, I'm going to change my attitude, it's the positivity I'm looking for. How will it happen? They say you can never tell what heaven looks like until you go there. Isn't it? So until and unless you've practiced it, you can never know what it means. So when I talk about the change in attitude, I have to go through that burning fire. I have to tell myself, this is the change I have to walk through.
Criticism. Are we really willing to take that? So I think I will take it forward from here. How many times are we ready to take these criticism and then sit and think this criticism is positive for me? Trust me, criticism is positive if you are ready to embrace that, learn from that and move ahead. There are times, not everyone wants to see you successful in life. So people will criticize, but what are we supposed to do? Are we going to stop ourselves? Are we going to really say that, okay, no, I'm not good for this, or I have to learn from? Can we make criticism our strength? This is what I want to focus on, because that is what I did. So I had a time some years back wherein the entire world was waiting for me to fail. When a new responsibility is given to you and the world was waiting for me to fail with no godfather, I had to prove myself. The only thing I did was I made that criticism my strongest determination. And today, when I look back, I see, yes, I have evolved. I have turned that mirror into windows of opportunities for me. But yes, it was not easy. I was ready to become a zero. I often say this thing, are you ready to become a zero in your life? So for me, zero is not the digit which has no value, but zero is that digit. Wherever the zero goes and stand with 1, it becomes 10. If 2 zeros go and stand with 1, it becomes 100. So be ready to become that zero, who when goes and stand with anyone, it enhances that person's value. So I'm trying to do that. And I have learned a lesson that if I can evolve, why not give that opportunity to everyone? So for me, my team is so very important. I speak about 4 C's again a lot. For me, first C stands for care. Am I caring for my own self? First, me, my mind, my body, my spirit, my health, my everything. Then, am I caring for my family? Then, after my family, my neighbors, my society, my friends, everyone, I need to care for them. Next is connect. How well am I connected with them? Okay, I'm connected on social media, but am I investing time in that connection? It is very important to invest time so that people are there when you need them and you are there when people need you. Next is I started working with my own community. If I'm an educator, I'm a life coach, I am this, that. There are so many communities available. You don't have to go out of your house also to be a part of that community. There's so many cohorts. So be a part of the community wherein you can then keep on sharpening your saw. You can keep on sharpening your thoughts, your knowledge, because everybody is willing to share. Last but not the least, last C is culture for me. Do we really take pride in our culture? We are from a country which has very, very rich culture. So if I do not know where I'm coming from, I will never know where I have to go. So it is very important to know your culture. And when you take care of all this in your life, you change your perspective. You become what Swaleen was trying to say. You start introspecting. And then you rightly said, Sarbury, we become a better version of ourselves. And trust me, it is not easy. Much easier to say rather than to do. But I have gone through it in my life. And I ensure that when somebody is there, I'm not there to, provide any kind of sympathy. No, people do not want sympathy. They want that push that, yes, we can do it. Be there, be a change maker in somebody else's story. Do not try to be a hero or heroine in somebody else's story. Be the hero in your own story, but give that push which is needed, because everyone is a hero in their own story.
Many stories. There are many stories of failures in my life, but I'm so happy that I took all my stories, all my failures as the part to change myself.
Talking about neural connect and neural association, there is something called law of attraction. It is said that, what we speak about ourselves, we keep attracting people, things, and situations towards us. So if we want to wind up, I would put across one question to each one of you. So in the next 1 year's time, I don't believe in 5 years or 10 years down the line. So in this 1 year's time, what you want to attract for yourself, and what self-talk you want to have, anything specific you want to share? Dr. Seema, you can start.
So all I talk to myself is I am in the process of metamorphosis, right? By the time I feel that, okay, things are going to come to an end, I know that is the time when the butterfly will be ready to explore the world. I never want that butterfly to fade away. I want the butterfly to be out with the beautiful color that you can imagine. So the process will keep on going on. It's a journey. Destination is still very, very far. I just want that I should be the person when who or goes and stands with any person, as I told you about zero. I should be the person who can add value to somebody else's life. I should be the person who is ready to support them. And often I say, because we are all women here, if women support women, trust me, miracles will happen. So are we ready to be a part of that miracle? So I'm not saying just to support women only, we have to support everyone. But yes, primarily, women need to support women, because we are the one who wait for others to fall. We don't need an army of men to make us fall. It's we who do that. So if we can change that mindset. So somebody, for me, this mindset needs to be changed. I'm really working very hard for that, that women need to understand we need to be each other's support. So wonderful platform where we all are together trying to support each other.
Exactly. I completely resonate with what you have said, that we are the ones who wait for the other counterpart to fall, and we need to change that mindset. We need to come out of the insecurities uh, which may have been there in our early lives. We should come out of that, and we should be above all this, and we should try and help each other. And that is how miracle can happen. No man can help a woman evolve or get empowered. It is us. It is us who can do that. Swarleen, over to you.
Lifelong learning is, I think, what I always believe in. And I always will try to become the best version of my own self. Apart from this, I think what I am stressing this particular year and, what I'm working on is being empathetic with each other, which I think somewhere goes the lines Dr. Seema has already said. And yes, finding our own UQs. We've heard about the emotional intelligence, we talk about our IQs. Somewhere we forget about who we are and finding our own UQs. That's our uniqueness quotient. We all have this uniqueness quotient in us. So for me, my unique quotient is I get connected with people very easily, which has helped me evolve through their mannerisms, through their learnings, through their criticisms, which has helped me understand there can be a variety of people. There are an endless number of species on this earth. Similarly, there are endless number of characteristics present in a single person, which surprises me a great deal. I'm doing that research work on the same topic, on the same subject, and I hope to finish it soon, wherein we can measure our uniqueness quotient. And I pass it on to people who, they just live all their lives and are not able to understand who they actually are. So I hope I work on these lines and create that difference in the lives of people.
So I'll narrate a small story. Okay, this story is of a boy who was in Japan. So, most of the time we do not know our own worth. We do not know our own value, our own unique quotient. So, to make the child understand, the father said, okay, what you need to do is, see, this is the stone in which on this stone, you always sit. Okay. So do one thing. Tomorrow, wherever you will go from tomorrow, take this stone. And if somebody asks you that they want to buy this stone, all you need to do is you just have to show this. Okay. And don't speak anything, but do not make any deal. So you're not supposed to sell it. So the child thinks, okay, who's going to buy this stone? The child takes that stone and goes to that local market, the market which keeps on shifting from one place to another. So there the child was nicely sitting. The stone was just next to the child. Nice, rich woman. She came and she said, oh, this is such a lovely stone. We have recently made a new house. And I think this will look beautiful when I'll place it in my garden. So may I buy it? And how much is that for? The child just showed two fingers. She said, okay, I'm ready to give you $200 right now. The child was thinking, $200 for the stone. There might be something wrong with the lady. Anyway, he was not supposed to make any deal. So he took the stone back and he narrated the entire story to his father. He said, okay, now the journey starts. Tomorrow you go and take the stone to the museum. The child goes with the stone to the museum, he was in the tattered clothes and all. So the person who was there in the museum, he did not allow him inside. But the moment he saw that stone, he said, oh, is that stone yours? He said, yes. So he said, I'm very interested in buying this stone. This seems to be such a genuine, original stone, maybe dating back to 500 years or 1,000 years. I am interested in buying this. What is the value of this stone? Again, he showed two fingers. He said, I'm ready to buy it in $2,000 right now. Now the child was surprised. $2,000 for a stone? Again, seems there's something wrong with this guy. He again went back because he was not supposed to do any deal. The third day, father said, go and take this stone to a jeweler. The child does the same thing. The moment the jeweler saw that stone, his mind started working. Oh, such beautiful big stone. I can break it into small, small pieces. I can make necklace. I can make earrings. I can make this, that, everything he was working on. He asked that boy, will you sell this stone to me? And how much is the price? He just said this. He said, I'm ready to give you $2 million right now for this stone. And this time the boy was completely out of his mind. He went home and he said, did you know this person was ready to give me $2 million for this stone? Now was the time for the father to make him realize there is a value that is associated with us. Sometimes we are able to find our values. Sometimes we need people. How Swarleen said, 99% is intrinsic, but that 1%, sometimes that 1% to make someone realize what is their value is really needed. So all we need to do is we need to have our own unique stories. We need to have our own flavor to our stories. But yes, our stories should know our own value. If we do not value our own self, the world is not going to value us. So keep your morale, keep your head, keep your expectations high from your own self first. And then you'll have a beautiful story.
In my second year of married life, I conceived, and then all of a sudden, 3 months later, we get this news that it's not happening, and I had to undergo an abortion. The second time, it happened again with me. And when the third time it happened, I was absolutely broken and shattered for some time. But why is it not happening? Yeah, I'm undergoing, after my first, abortion. The doctors had already, put me on the medication, and again miscarriages. So I was like, my mother-in-law called me and tells me, "Are you disappointed?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "I am not," and I was surprised. I said, "Are you sure?" I somewhere had that notion because the two were girls we came to know. I mean, one of the abortion was like 4.5+ months. I thought that, she may not be wanting one. So I said, that's why she's not disappointed. In those are childhood days, I must say now. So I was like, she's not perturbed, she's not disturbed. She says, no, I am not. Trust me on this. Because this must not be the soul that you want to carry. The soul that has to have come from your end will come right in your field. Then you'll not face any difficulty. And the story changes. 2007, in fact, 2006, my mother-in-law, she passed away 11:45 p.m. And I was standing next to her. Her head was in my hands, and she gave the last blessing to me. And she said, "You'll have one soon." And she closed her eyes. Exactly 20 days later, I conceived my daughter. And I was so apprehensive. I mean, will it go? Will it not happen? There were a lot of dilemmas. But I remember she said, this time when you conceive, just say, "I'm going to make it. God has sent me the right angel." I was on the, definitely the doctors had advised bed rest and all. But when she came out, she was absolutely lying in the posture what my mother-in-law used to lie down. I don't know how this cosmic energies, they change the lives, they change the story. It is important that you believe in your story. It is important that you believe it is going to happen. And when you say it is going to happen to you, the whole universe conspires to give it to you.